While governors of the central bank cannot be censored, they should be allowed to speak their mind. That is the wording from former RBI Governor D. Subbarao. In Mumbai to launch his tell-all memoir, in attendance was current RBI Governor Rajan and the who's who of the banking industry. Both governors agreed that RBI governors should depose before the parliament, just like in the United States.
An institutionalized, structured process whereby the governor goes before the committee of the parliament, like in the US and perhaps in the UK, and gives a statement on the entire domain of actions, policies, outcomes of the Reserve Bank, fields questions from the members of parliament, will be a good thing to do. Even now the governor goes and deputy governors go before the standing committee of the parliament, but on specific issues, but it is not a calendar event. What I'm suggesting is that it must be a calendar event covering the entire domain of the Reserve Bank, where the governor goes and renders autonomy.
And it should be in the public domain.
It should be in the public domain. You know, we could, when we're designing it, we could think about it, you know, whether it should be live or whether it could be some filtered messages that could be put in the public domain. Apart from the fact that it gives Reserve Bank an avenue to render accountability, I also believe that a mechanism like that would protect the Reserve Bank from the encroachment or assaults on its autonomy by the political executive. Once you're rendering accountability to the legislature, you are to that extent firewalled from the executive. I think that's a safeguard.
Can I invite the governor's view on this? I mean, this is done in the United States. You must have seen how other countries do it. Is that a good idea?
We have had, following some of these ideas, now a discussion with the Parliamentary Standing Committee, where we have asked the Parliamentary Standing Committee to set up at least 2 meetings a year, where the governor will go and depose in front of the committee. We just had one a month ago, where I and 2 deputy governors went before the standing committee and answered a variety of questions without them calling us. We set it up with them, and we had this very frank and free interaction. So yes, we are on that path now.
And it might be available to the public. Is that also being contemplated?
Well, I would think that the deliberations of the committee follow parliamentary rules, where they are supposed to be sort of within closed doors. I am told that there was some communication between the committee members and the press. So the press did hear about what happened inside the committee, but that was not from us. I think we follow the parliamentary rules and are bound by that. However, I don't see why the statement by the governor, opening statement by the governor to the committee, could not be made public in future occasions, but that's for the future governor to decide.
No, but in the US, the entire debate is in the public domain. You all are not reaching anywhere there in your...
No, that is for Parliament to agree to open it up. It's not our decision. Our main issue was to communicate with Parliament so that there is a sense of responsibility of the Reserve Bank to Parliament. And they asked us a variety of questions, including some tough ones, and we responded. So it is part of the process now.
Governor Dr. Rajan, in various forums, he does not talk about anything which actually moves the market in terms of bond yield or rupee. He restrains himself. But he talks about, say, make in India or make for India, or talk about intolerance, so on and so forth. Now, in your idea of perfect communication of a central banker, do these subjects fit? Should the governor talk about all this, or should it refrain? Because apparently, I mean, not apparently, let's not couch our this thing. There have been controversies, stoked discussions on these issues.
I don't think there should be any code of conduct about what subjects the governor can talk about. It should be left to the discretion of the governor. I don't think it's advisable to compartmentalize him to talk about just issues relating to central banking. If a governor chooses to confine himself to strictly issues within central banking, that's his privilege and his preference. But to say that the governor should not go beyond central banking, I think is ill-advised. If the governor is indeed a public intellectual, as Governor Rajan is, I think it will be good It's appropriate, advisable, desirable that he speak about those issues because the governor does enjoy a certain amount of recognition in the public. And if he's able to communicate on some of those larger issues, using the gravitas of his office, I think it's contributing to the larger public good.